Hello and welcome everyone to episode 34 of Spreading the Nerd. I'm your host, Clint Coombs, and joining me as always is Mr. Rick Davis. We got a pretty special show for you today. We have our reactions to the ever-changing story of the Switch 2 and the news that surrounds it. We also have, thanks to Rick, we will be doing a giveaway of Assassin's Creed Shadows for any system that you want, right? Any console and PC.
That is correct. It was originally going to be, since GameStop screwed up, I was originally just going to give away that Xbox copy. But then when they made it right, I was like, all right, well, obviously I'll get mine to be corrected, but I will, we'll still honor the giveaway. Just now, you won't get it. You won't get the deluxe copy, but all that doesn't get you is some armor and weapon that looks good anyway. Yeah. But now you can also pick the version. You can pick whether you want PS2, Jesus Christ, PS5.
If you want to play it at 480p.
Yeah. I don't know if it would run that. PS5, Xbox Series X and S, obviously digitally only on S, or Steam, and you can pick whether you want physical or digital. If you want physical, you'll just have to obviously give me your address so I can ship it to you.
Perfect. We got some people in chat already. Everybody's here.
I won't lie. I want a PS2 copy as well, Caleb. I want to see what that looks like.
I would, right? It'd be interesting. Give me some of that vintage look.
and it would have like the really like broken like PS2 like third person platforming and terrible camera control. I want that version. The only
thing that would be cool is if you went to your like, remember you go to your memory card and it would have like a little 3D figure.
Hell yeah, dude! A
little assassin on it. That'd be awesome. Oh, yeah. That was great. God, sometimes I miss the PS2.
Always.
I do miss it. It was always a fantastic system. I did that trick. I don't know if you ever had to do it, where my CD ROM player or whatever broke, so I had to have it at like a 45-degree angle.
That was not what I had to do, because I actually still have one of the old chunky ones, because I even mentioned right before the show I have the hard drive, and that's the only one that can use it. No, I would have to. I don't remember how to do it now, but I used to have to do it every once in a while. What would happen? I don't know if you know this or not. Here's a little bit of PS2 lore for all the nerds out there. The laser was not bad like everybody thought. The problem was there's a white gear that would be like reset the height of it, I think is what it would do. It would not quite get back to the correct default area. So I'd seen somewhere online like, yeah, you open it up, you get it to where it's working, and then you put you get a Sharpie and put a little black dash there, and when it stops reading discs, you open it back up, and you force turn the gear just ever so slightly, like a 1/64th of a turn maybe, to reset it, and then it would work fine. So that's actually what it was. It just simply was not returning to the correct turn, I guess you would say.
Mine, the CD-ROM just wouldn't go back and forth, or it would, but it needed help, so I had to have it at like a 45-degree tilt so it could go back and forth easier. It was the dumbest thing, and I remember being really scared while playing. Honestly, I think it was the last Gran Turismo I played was on the PS2, and they actually had those hard courses that were like 6 hours long, like you had to play
the endurance races. That's right.
Yeah, and so I did those, and I would like the whole time I'm like, please.
Well, if we're on PS2, you're talking about Gran Turismo 3, right?
I think
the endurance races in that were no joke. Like, there were two of them, if I remember correctly, in the original Gran Turismo. One was an hour and one was 2 hours, something like that. I don't remember what Gran Turismo 2's was. Gran Turismo 3's, I want to say there was like a 6-hour endurance race.
Yeah,
it was insane.
There definitely was. And it was, and of course there was no, quick resume or whatever. You couldn't save it halfway. You played it, and I can't remember how old I was. I was old enough that I had to yell at my mom to not bother me so I could finish it. So
if you were playing Gran Turismo 3, you weren't that young, because we were graduated when that came out.
I was probably...
You're the same age as me, so we were
so unless you're like 18, 19 or something. No, I did not. I probably should have, but here we are.
I want to say GT3 came out in either 02 or I think it came out in 02. I think it came out in 02.
I'll have to look. It might have been 2, but like you said, I think Gran Turismo 3 had those long endurance ones, and I remember playing it a long time. Oh God. But anyways, yeah, besides the PS2 stuff, yeah, we'll most likely be talking about the whole Switch 2 stuff, our what we think about
Switch you too, Nintendo.
God. Well, let's not even start that yet.
Yeah.
Let's start. I don't know, with something.
Well, actually, while we're at it right now, we'll repeat this a few different times throughout the show. Anybody who's here now that wants to be entered in this drawing, let me know now, and I'll start creating the list over here. We'll do the drawing about halfway through, but this way I don't have to enter 1,000 names at one time. I can start entering them as people tell me they're interested. So
yeah,
just say in the chat you're interested. We can you give me your real name, or you can use your YouTube name, whenever it is, and I'll start writing them in as we go.
Yep, and then even what we'll do, we got this wheel of names, so it's like a Wheel of Fortune thing. We'll post it here live, so you can watch it and be all excited and hyped for it. So,
Ellery, you're on. Got you.
And Caleb, I know.
Oh yeah, you're right. I actually missed this. Okay, so Caleb.
And then, anybody who wants in, speak up. And like I said, we'll if you've had to dip for a few seconds or something, we'll give you a few chances to get in here. So,
you got a while. This is just so I don't have to enter 1,000 names at one time.
Right. So before we get into it, what have you been playing this week? Anything good? Anything
mostly
fancy?
Mostly Assassin's Creed. A little bit of Last of Us Part 2, because yesterday the update released. Although thankfully I didn't play the campaign, because there was a bug that they patched it today, but it would break your upgrades. And let's put it this way, I'd be very angry, because that game is really fucking hard on grounded. It is really freaking hard. But because the PC version released yesterday, that's why they released an update for the PlayStation version. But what's cool is no return mode, which I have gone on record saying anybody that likes Last of Us and doesn't play no return mode is crazy, because no return is awesome. They added 2 new characters. They added Marlene and they added Bill. I have unlocked Marlene. I have not yet unlocked Bill, but I am working on him. And they added, I think it's 4 new maps. So it was a sizable update, and then obviously some bug fixes, and they added a new outfit for Ellie to make her look like, I forget the character's name, but she has they added the outfit for Intergalactic's characters thing, like that jacket.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, nice. you have to use the points in game to unlock it. It doesn't just unlock it for you. But it's
that's cool though.
Yeah, thankfully I think it was 6 points remaining. I needed 5, so I was able to unlock it.
Silking it, throwing shade already. Jesus Christ.
We'll get there, Caleb. Just wait.
Oh God, yeah. And then
Silking it. I went to do it yesterday, and someone told me the patch released yesterday. It released today. So
yeah,
no, I went to play it when there was no patch. I was like, all right, well, I'll just wait. And then today, apparently you can't even log in right now anyway. So this weekend I will play it, but and a little bit of Adamfall.
Yeah, I played a little bit of Adamfall, like I told you, a little bit, like very little, like a few days ago, and then I played probably about an hour and a half or so last night. I like it. There's some AI issues there, but I love the setting. It runs fantastic. It seems like a really clean running game. So I'll
basically uses the same engine that they use for Sniper Elite.
Yeah, so they're pretty on board with it. Like I said, only about an hour. I love the setting. I do need to get into it more. I personally love how the quest is built. The quests are built around where it's just like a journal, and it's like hints of where to go, and actual locations for like secret cache and stuff. So that's pretty cool.
What's really weird about that, I can't say weird, but what's funny about that game is it is the first time that studio has made a game anything like that, right? And it's a better Fallout game than Bethesda has made in freaking 20 years. Not quite 20 years, but it's like this kind of goes to show that maybe they need to step their game up a little bit, right? That said, it is not a one-to-one analog of Fallout by any means. I've been describing it as like maybe 45% Fallout, 45% Last of Us, which nobody seems to be picking up on, but it definitely has like a Last of Us.
I would say yeah.
In terms of the way that scraping supplies and crafting works, I think that's very Last of Us. And then also the setting being certainly not a post-apocalyptic game per se, but a post-tragedy. That Windfall, whatever it was a real event. They've just built around this. And then about actually 10% about Sniper Elite, because what I said on XCP's community episode this week was it's a better Sniper Elite game than Sniper Elite 5 and Sniper Elite Resistance are, because there's more weapon sway in this game, and it takes your heartbeat into account way more than those games do.
Did you play Resistance at all? I haven't played it at all because
it's essentially Sniper Elite 5.1. It basically plays exactly the same as although with some differences. There's actually a good bit less cutscenes, which is kind of weird, but also that they, to their credit, they did somewhat take criticism of 5 into account. Like, from what I've seen, the maps are a lot more open than certainly the earlier maps of Sniper Elite 5, where it's basically a corridor shooter at times, right? Resistance does have definitely more ability to snipe if you want, but they didn't really change the physics at all, which for the most part probably don't have to be changed, except for a couple of things. Like, if I'm not mistaken, you and I talked, and you had the same issues with it that I did, that it basically took away all the hardcore sniping physics of 4. That hasn't changed at all.
It seemed really easy type of
thing. And to even so, Sniper Elite 4 was really freaking hard on higher difficulties, right? Like it was ruthless with some of the bullet drop and wind affecting the trajectory of bullet and stuff like that. Whereas 5 there's almost no wind in the first couple of missions, which is bizarre. That obviously is still the case here. Figure that first map is on a beachfront. Like, there should be nonstop wind there. It should be hard to shoot anything.
Right.
But the other thing about it, and this is something this might have more than anything, this might have been what drove me nuts about Sniper Elite 5. For being a game that is built around like maintaining your heartbeat and all that stuff, to keep it doesn't take it into account whatsoever when you're running. Like, you could run full speed, and then when you stop, you just see the heartbeat like drop back to normal in like a half a second. It's like, that's not how that should be, but that still seems to be the case. But either way, so I had said a couple episodes ago when I was talking about it, I was like, it is what it is. If you like Sniper Elite 5, you'll like it. I'm of the mind that it should have been just a 50 or 60, not even the dollar wise. It should have been a big expansion to build within Sniper Elite 5. That way you could use all of Sniper Elite 5's weapons and stuff like that here, and all of these new weapons there. It would have been, but like, it has nothing to do with a money thing. It has to do with it would have been nice to have all of the ability, all the weapons from each one and available in the other one. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I'll definitely play it at some point. But with everything that's coming out, it'll definitely be like a sale. But for me, I haven't really. I've been playing catch up on WoW, and I've kind of caught up. But so hopefully I can get back. I played a little bit of Assassin's Creed to actually get through the campaign a little bit more, but I'm still way behind.
Are you able to play as Yasuke yet?
No, I'm not. I'm not even. No, I'm still only like level 12 in that, but I think
I'm only 15, but I've been able to play as him for a little while.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not even close, because I've been I see something, see a question mark, I go off, and
don't do that.
I know, but I'm awful.
You are genuinely locking yourself out of a lot of the game by doing it that way.
Especially, and that's what I've heard, is that other games, open world, you can still unlock things and stuff, but I've heard like Assassin's Creed Shadows, like, you need to mainstream the main game for a bit.
Once you can start playing as Yasuke, which is basically the beginning of chapter 2, which isn't really as far as it sounds, but once you get to that point is when most of the different side quests and stuff like that actually become available.
Yeah, someday, Baden. I'm not sure if you're at work or not, Baden, but I just wanted to make sure that you knew about the contest. So if you want in on the contest, write your name in here if you want. Okay. He was here. I just wanted to make sure.
Oh, you're saying in case you didn't hear it. I got you.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, Baden. If you want to enter, do man. You can have a Steam copy if you win. It doesn't have to be console.
Yep. Yeah.
Speaking of Baden, I think Baden had a little something to share with us.
We do. I think. Oh, okay. He's gonna sit out the contest.
Okay.
Yeah. I figured at the start of our whole Switch thing, we'll show that because it kind of is the general feel for us, I believe.
Yeah, and that's all that you.
What else have I been playing? I've been kind of like playing like random PC games because I built a new PC the other day, so I just been like testing out things. I did get sucked back into Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 over last weekend, and I dumped probably another 8 hours into that. And God, I haven't played it for a while because of moving and everything, and I forgot just how amazing that game is and how detailed some stuff is. I just like, I
actually went to play it the other day because same deal. I actually haven't played as much of it recently as I wanted, but it's mostly because I don't want to load that up and play it for 20 minutes and then turn it off. Like I want to play it for a while.
Yeah, that's a game that I want to make sure I have time to play.
Yeah. So I loaded it up to play it, and I ended up talking to Alex in Discord, like not through chat, just typing for like the next hour and a half. Oh no! I tell you what it was. It was after I did the show the other day. I bullshitted with him for like 2 hours. As soon as I got out of the just talking to him, I loaded it up. Before I even got to the main screen, Nate messaged me and asked if I wanted to play Rocket League. I was like, I had these stupid headphones on for like 5 straight hours. I was trying to take them off. But I did end up going and playing, so I had the headphones on for an hour and a half after that. I literally had taken them off and like taken everything down, and it was 10 minutes later he asked me. I was like, son of a bitch.
Jesus.
I mean, I don't need the camera for that, but obviously,
Yeah, so I played that a bit more, and just God, the game is just so good. I did want to get. I almost started Wilds, and I was like, I don't know. I just didn't. I want to, but I need to. This year has been so crazy with game releases. I need to stop because there's just so many games coming out that I want. So I buy them and then I play them, and I'm like, ooh, this other game's coming out. Ooh. So it's just ridiculous. Thank you, Matt in chat says happy birthday to me. Yeah, I had my birthday last week, so yeah, there was that too. So busy with that for a couple nights. So. Or was it? No, it was last. No, it was
Monday.
Saturday. Monday.
How do you not know what day your birthday was?
It's been busy.
It's the 4th.
I'm old now. I'm old now. I forget stuff. So. God. So I think that's it. Should we get into the Switch too? Should we go in there?
Yeah, my blood pressure's too low. Let's get.
I have. It's going to be difficult for me because usually, so let me start off by saying I will usually find the good in anything and try to be like cool and be happy about it, blah, blah, blah. And let me start also by saying,
let me stop you 1 second.
Okay.
Because I forgot to say something I was playing.
Go ahead, continue.
I played a little bit of South of Midnight yesterday.
Oh, did you?
It only came out yesterday, which is why I didn't think about it.
Did you get the early edition or something? Or
no, actually, because Microsoft are assholes and won't give you a way to actually buy it without them telling you if you can or can't play it. I was like, you know what, screw them then. I basically what I'm getting at is you can't buy it physically at all. If you buy a physical copy, it's still a digital version.
Oh.
And I only have 2 words to say to that.
Godzilla coming to get him.
Yeah, Godzilla is not one of those words, to be clear. But I kind of got the itch, and I was like, man, I do want to play. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I was like, I'll pay the $10 for the premium upgrade, but I won't. I was like, if I can't buy the game, I will not buy that game.
Right.
Which said Hellblade. Even though I hated Hellblade, I was going to buy it.
Yeah,
hate's a strong word. Even though I didn't like Hellblade, I was going to buy it, and there's no way to actually buy it. So I mean, that's not true. There's no way to buy it that you own it. Yeah, and I'm not getting into you get what I'm saying, right? But anyway, so yeah, so and actually the thing was, oddly enough, it was only $9 instead of 10 because of the Game Pass sale or whatever. But yeah, so now I'm still fairly. I'm actually in the point right now that the previews a month or 2 ago, whenever they came out, basically this is the part they were playing. The thing dealing with like when the catfish guy is in the tree and you're trying to get him down, and it's dealing with like the guy Rhubarb who's like the most backwater Louisiana guy you could possibly imagine. Like I'm at that part. From what I've played so far, I will say I think the 8 reviews are about right. I would probably come in right around there. The combat's not very good. It's not horrible. I set it on like the highest difficulty, and I mean I won't say it's easy at that difficulty because if you're not careful, they will get you. But it is a little simplistic for sure. But I do like it's nice to just play a fairly simple game like this.
Right.
I can't decide how I feel about the stop motion, which you can turn off in gameplay,
right?
But not the cutscenes. I think Hazel's the main character's name. Okay, I think the stop motion with her is mostly okay. I think with some characters like that catfish, it looks absolutely horrible, and that is in cutscenes. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the way he's animated or whatever. And again, this is still him hanging from the tree. Maybe it's different when he's out swimming around. I don't know. But what I saw, I was like, yeah, that stop motion does not look good there. And so I kind of went back for turning it off and on in gameplay. I don't know how to describe this, but like again, the stop motion when you're in gameplay actually isn't really all that noticeable because it's not as jerky as like
right.
Obviously it's been compared to like Into the Spider-Verse and all that stuff. It's not that low of a frame rate as what that one is. However, somewhat this is hard to describe, but like the way her running animation is animated, if you are running at whatever proper speed, the timing of when it refreshes the animation, I guess you will say, it always does the hitch, if you want to call it that, at the exact same point. So it actually, instead of looking like what it's supposed to, it actually looks like a bad animation. It looks like there's a missing frame in the animation, as opposed to having the artistic design of looking intentionally like stop motion. And it's like they probably should have simply changed her running animation within 2 or 3 frames, so it looks so it's not in the exact same point of where her arm is, something like that. And actually, here's a perfect example. Did you play Witcher 3 on Xbox when it first came out? Only on Xbox, not on PC or PS5.
I don't think I did.
Okay, when Witcher 3 originally released, there was a slight issue that they eventually addressed with Roach's animation, where it missed like a single frame to loop. So there was always a quick hitch between when he would finish like a certain animation to loop into the next one. And they added like an additional frame or something like that. This kind of does that. And it's like, man, all they needed to do was slightly lengthen her animations or whatever, and this wouldn't be an issue because you'd be able to tell that this was the artistic thing, which is what it is. Again, I want to be clear. It is what it is. It's just, it's the exact right length of animation that it looks like the animation is stuttering and not transitioning smoothly. And it's like, man, that kind of was a
kind of takes you out of it type of thing.
Yeah, that's kind of disappointing. All right, let's see. I saw Krista said anybody else?
Krista and Matt as well to add to the wheel of names. Yeah, so I'll head into my whole Switch thing. Yeah, so before I start, I I'm not downing anybody or anything. If they enjoy this, fantastic. I am happy for you. If you enjoyed the games coming out and what it showed, more power to you. If you like it, fantastic.
And I just want to say, Nissa, no, it's not. You're wrong. But go ahead. You can continue.
And I'm as much as I'm going to tell you right now, as much as I'm going to complain about this, I'm going to put my clown makeup on, and I'm probably going to get it anyways. So, but the things that we're going to talk about that make us mad are just not necessarily the console itself. It's just like what it's done. So we had the reveal. For me, it instantly started out for the showcase itself. Just the showcase was abysmal because the whole thing was out of sync. Like they would talk.
Evidently, that was the YouTube one. I did not know this. I guess it was happening a little bit on the Twitch stream, but not as bad. It was way worse on YouTube because it was getting crushed there. I didn't know that either.
Gotcha. There was like 1 million people watching the Nintendo Direct on YouTube, which I thought was crazy. So,
yeah.
So, but it immediately started of me rolling my eyes. Now, this might be great for some people, but when they introduced the party chat, which for Nintendo, yes, this is new. However, this is not something that you show and spend 10 minutes on.
And act like it's some brand new revolutionary idea. Yeah.
And then at the end of it say, by the way, it's behind a paywall.
Right.
Which people are like, oh, it's behind a paywall on Sony and Xbox.
Although
like,
this is exactly what they did with the Switch, if you remember. Because
yes.
when Switch launched, they had not rolled out Nintendo Online yet. And they said, we're going to do it later. And at that point, you will have to pay for it. But yeah.
Yeah. And then they were showing the have your friends talk to you with the camera and stuff like that, which is a cool concept. But literally while they were showing it, the background of the gameplay, the frames were just dogging. And it's like,
and the quality was horrible.
And it's just like, God.
And this is in a closed environment. So what is this going to look like when it's out in the wild? It's going to be unusable.
Right. If you get people with low bandwidth and stuff like that, it's just not going to work correctly. And I hate to be negative about it, but that's just like how I instantly felt. And I was like, oh my God, this whatever. And then to carry on from the showcase, it was just very, very lackluster for me. I was expecting more. Donkey Kong Bonanza looks pretty cool. I'll definitely play that. I'm excited that we're finally getting a new Mario Kart, even though it's going to be $80, which we'll get into.
Unless you buy it with the console, but yeah.
Unless you buy it with the console, which... good luck. But if you don't buy it without the console, it's going to be $80. And then, they were like, oh, there's going to be upgrades and stuff. So for, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, a few other titles.
Hold that thought. You're getting a little ahead of yourself here. We will get to that part. That's a whole separate discussion. So do you have more to say about the actual show overall, or do you want me to jump in?
I think that was kind of for me talking about with the show. That's just the games they showed off, like the Kirby. I'm sure it was great for some people, and I'm not trying to dog it. If you are excited, fantastic. I hope you are, but I really wanted them to come out with something more. And they were like, oh, but all these third-party games are coming out, which is great if you are just playing a Switch. Fantastic. I will be playing 95% of those games somewhere else. So it just wasn't for me at all. More details of the system came out today and stuff, so we'll get into that later, which did kind of excite me, but overall, the showcase and the fact that they didn't give a price point at the end was just, I don't know, I was not impressed.
I genuinely don't think it's hyperbolic to say that when you take the entire day, not just the show itself, but the responses and information specifically that came out after the show, I don't think it's unfair to say that this might be the most disastrous console reveal like in the modern era, and since we've started to have the internet to talk about it as opposed to just knowing what they because also I want to point out, I highlighted it, Baden said Nintendo is the definition of corporate greed. I've said this for years, and for some reason I get laughed out of the room because Nintendo is just so beloved, and I understand that. I get they made games, I get, I understand that, but like Sony and Microsoft are rightfully, I want to say, dragged over the coals for every stupid thing they do. And Nintendo, it is always excused.
Yeah.
It is nice to finally see the fact that that's not happening because people are fuming over this. And also partly because it is so clear that one of two, if not both things, were the case, right? Number one, Nintendo was just clearly not ready to to actually show this thing, and they basically, put it out before it was ready to be revealed, right? Or, and much more likely, they did this while still perhaps not being quite ready, but they really badly obfuscated a lot of information about this that they then thought they could just trickle out in like press releases and stuff like that. But when all this information kind of was put out by a bunch of different people at the same time, some of which was incorrect, as I see, I think as Nissa said it. I had heard that as well. The $90 physical actually is not true, but a lot of the other stuff is true, right? And this was all stuff that was bad, which is why they specifically didn't put it in there. And it's clear they were trying to hide this information because they knew the response would be negative. Mm-hmm. So basically, the bottom fell out under them on this because everyone was just like, what the hell are they doing? So okay. Talking about the show as a whole, I'm more or less in agreement with you. Like before the show ever started, I'm like, yeah, as long as this thing's not $800, which I assume it's not going to be, I'm going to get one. And I thought $450, whether it stays that or not, we'll see, I guess. But I thought $450 was truthfully higher than a Switch should be. But I was like, that's not that horrible. So I was like, I'll bite that. I was like, I was hoping for $400, so $50 more, whatever. And I don't give a shit about Mario Kart, so that extra $50 really isn't anything there. But I was like, yeah, I'll get one, and I'll certainly, if nothing else, I will get it so that I have a better version of the Switch, right? Right. But there definitely were a lot of like, man, this shit makes me want to say fuck you, Nintendo, just and not support it, right?
It was
not just the price of the games, although that is certainly numero uno, but or the price of some games as it is, but. Do you really fucking think the next Zelda is going to be $70 again? No, it's going to be $80. It's going to be fucking $80. But there's a lot that I just want to say, like, I don't want to support them with this at all. But it's just like, honestly, I mean, I know this keeps getting brought up, and rightly so, but is there anything that you have seen that is absolutely stupider than them charging for this stupid interactive game manual, if you will?
Oh my god, yeah.
$6, Nintendo. $6. Are you kidding me?
It's just
fucking eat the cost of that, for Christ's sake.
Clearly saw Astrobot and was like, we can do this and we'll do it shittier.
Did they charge for Astrobot? No, because nobody would have bought that. They bought the actual game, but they didn't buy the playroom. Nobody would have bought that.
Oh god. And the there was something else, but now I forgot.
Are you thinking of the report that came out that they wanted to charge for Wii Sports, but Reggie was like,
there was that, and there was just,
and apparently it was like a battle for him to get them to agree to give it away, and it was just like, it's like, look, I know people look back fondly on that. I don't get it. I thought that game was horrendous, but it was a pack-in, so I didn't really judge it.
Right. If it's a pack-in, I'm not going to.
If it's crap, right, exactly.
I'm not going to. I got it for free.
It was a glorified tech demo, but tech in terms of not so much the hardware, but in terms of the controllers. Right. And it's like the fact that they thought, you know what? They thought they could charge for it. Well, they charged for Wii Sports too, and how did that sell? That didn't sell for shit.
Yeah,
they did the same thing with all the other bullshit, and none of it sold.
Wii Sports. Yeah. One of the other things that, to go kind of back and forth here, one of the things I did like in the showcase was that we are getting GameCube games, and hopefully we'll get some more. I think Wind Waker was announced. Wind Waker, thank you. There was a couple other ones that I can't remember, but
they showed a bunch, but I believe the initial is Wind Waker, Pokemon GX or whatever the hell that one's called. Oh, I'm sorry, Gale of whatever the hell it is. I'm not a Pokemon person, so Colosseum was in there. Jesus. Oh, was Thousand Year Door in that?
I don't know.
They wouldn't give that because they have the remake.
So I was excited about that mainly because I'm grabbing at any type of straw that comes towards me that I can get a Skies of Arcadia. That's all I want. I just want to be able to play Skies of Arcadia.
I wouldn't hold your breath, man.
I know. But God, Eternal Darkness would be fantastic, Todd, if that got released. God, that would be amazing too. We did have some game reveals. So actually, if we'll get Discord up here because we actually had one of our fans, Baden, in here make a video because Baden is a massive Bloodborne fan, From Software fan. So even I was extremely excited when From Software a game was shown on there, and it was it Blood, bruh.
Something blood. Dusk blood or something like that.
Dusk Bloods or something. And at first, the emotional ride was wild.
I was watching it, and I was just like, "Holy shit!"
I was like, "There's no fucking way they're
going
to do this."
I even posted in the Discord. I was like, "This is a big W for Baden."
Yeah.
And at the end, I was like, "Okay, it's not a big W, but it's a really good W." And then the day went on, and I was like, "No, this is a massive L, actually."
Oh God, it was such an emotional high because I was like, I really don't want to play this on the Switch, but I will because it's a
pause real quick. I just want to say I see a bunch of people that have hopped in here in the last 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
As many of you know, we are doing the giveaway for Assassin's Creed Shadows. We're not doing it yet. If for those who have just joined, if you want to be entered, just tell me in the chat so I can enter your name in it. Okay, continue. I just want to make sure everyone knows.
Yeah. And it looked great and stuff. So I was super excited. And I think we were both talking back and forth about it. And we were instantly like, oh man, Baden's going to be so hype about this and this and that. And
I'm not joking. Baden was literally the first thing I thought of. Like,
oh yeah, for me too. Yeah.
You remember, I thought it was Resident Evil 9 at first. I'm like, man, I'm
so did I.
Here. Then as soon as it was FromSoft, I immediately thought of Baden. I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, and then we come to find out again that it is a From Software exclusive to Switch 2, which is a huge get for Nintendo. Massive. And then later on, come to find out it's a PvPvE 8-player game. And
I got you, Sabrina.
my whole body just went, ugh. It's like, I'm sure it's good for some people. I couldn't care less.
I think a lot of people were like with Night Rang. It's like, all right, it's not Miyazaki. It is what it is. This one being Miyazaki, like people were just like, why?
Yep.
So this one actually got a I mean, no wrong. It didn't get hate. Like it's not like they gave hate for that, but I did see a lot of, well, I have zero interest in this now. Whereas it was someone who was like, hell yeah.
Yep. Other than that, nothing. Bravely Default HD remaster, which is huge for me, but it's also on Switch. It's not on Tony Hawk was shown. I'm trying to think of what else was shown. The Borderlands is going to be on there. Borderlands 4. That's fantastic for Switch owners if that's all you have. It's great.
There's one hang up to this, and don't get me wrong, you're right. It is great. It's good that that's there. The problem is that probably was not the stuff. Like you can show, hey, we got this. That do those in like the sizzle reels, like they did with Silk Song, instead of giving it like a 20-minute reveal like it actually deserved. Or you know what I'm saying. But the weird part of it is, it's like most people are gonna get those on their other consoles. So like that probably wasn't the best way to go about using half of your show. You have to show it. I understand that, right? You got to show people who are only buying a Switch that they still can get Borderlands. They still can get Tony Hawk and all that. But the reality is that you're going to be the platform that has the least support of those games on them.
Right.
So I'm not going to pretend I know the right answer to that, because that is a tricky situation. But it's like you probably would have been better off showing more stuff that like really takes advantage of the Switch 2, or actually show off a little bit more. I mean, they showed a fair bit of like Donkey Kong, but I don't know. Maybe show a little more of Kirby Air Ride. I mean, I don't give a damn about that whatsoever, but maybe show a little more on that than just basically a trailer. But
right. And then we did get to see some Metroid Prime 4, which runs fantastic.
That right there is what they probably should have shown more than what they showed.
They should have shown more instead of at the tree.
Or what I was about to say, what they should have done was not like just have like, hey, we have a lot to show about this next week, or whatever, or whenever that treehouse was, and then had a big like 5 or 6 minute like, hey, here's what it's been however many years now since Metroid Prime 3. Like, look how we didn't lose our touch. This is still going to be awesome.
Yeah, and they like briefly just messaged. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, this runs at 4K, 60 frames per second, or 1080p. Is docked, and that was like it. Like, no, this like you need to talk about this. Like, this is huge.
Yeah,
the Switch 2 is able to
fact
play
that
a
it can
game
do
at
4K
60 frames,
or the fact that it can play anything that's not an indie
Right,
at 120 is pretty
huge.
actually impressive.
And they were just like, whatever.
It truly shows how much Nintendo do not understand the market
Right.
that they are
Right.
in anymore. It really, really does. I'm not saying that kind of thing is everything, right? Like with Nintendo, it clearly is not. It never has been. However, you don't gloss over that because, first of all, that does show you like, hey, maybe this thing is slightly more powerful than it was being given credit for, which matters. And they don't understand the market that they're in whatsoever. They really do not.
We saw a couple, for me, gimmicky games with the whole mouse thing. There was the clear ripoff of
I saw people comparing that to Rocket League, and that offended me.
Yeah, it's clear ripoff, and it's just
I was like, no. Rocket League has genuine like skill involved.
Right,
in it.
and then like
this one is waggle garbage.
The little like hand gesture that pops up, and it's like,
yeah, look,
I'm like, no, no.
People will play that for literally 2 minutes and then never touch it again.
Yeah. And then Metroid does also use the mouse feature, which is cool. I think that's going to work great for games for like Civ. And
Civ,
I was
absolutely. That'll actually probably make that the performance dependent. That'll probably make the Switch 2 version actually the best console version because you can actually play it like it's using a mouse.
Oh, for sure. I don't know how good it's going to work for especially someone that plays on PC, how good the DPI will be to aim and stuff, and also the controls on it. You had sent me something through text today because I had mentioned to you to it, and I guess the controls do switch up. And I was on Todd's show last night and we were talking about this.
When you were on Todd's show, you said I think it was Eric, you said brought up like, well, how do you press the buttons? It looks like when you were this is in Metroid only, I'm not talking about anything else, just Metroid. It looks like when you are using it, it actually just simply swaps between regular mode and mouse mode, like because what they were doing is they were using it, and then when they had to press a button, they basically picked it up and started using the analog stick and did what they had to do, and then they went right back to mouse mode. So it must just transition. In that game, again, I'm only talking about that game. It must transition back and forth. I'm just going to play it with the control with the stick.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I did notice while during the Treehouse when they were playing Metroid and they were using the mouse and stuff, that even though it was on a Nintendo Surface that they picked out for that mouse thing, it was every now and then you could see it like catching and or moving too fast. And I'm like,
even in the mini golf thing that they showed, like it was not a very accurate representation of when they were using that golf club.
Yeah, so, and that's on a like I said, what they gave for the Surface. You're gonna have somebody scratchy, Todd's like his leg, like Todd said, his leg, or a scratchy coffee table that's not gonna pick this up. But Saber in chat mentioned we'll get a third-party mouse control, which would be cool.
I genuinely
I
don't know if this is going to work the way you think it does, because I don't know if it's. I don't know. I'd have to look at the Joy-Con a little bit more closely. I don't know if this uses even a laser. So honestly, the surface.
I don't know.
So long as it is a smooth surface that it can glide across naturally, it really might not make a difference. Because I don't know if that's how it works. I'm going to guess it probably reads more off of motion, and probably you know what I mean. But it's probably more accurate, which is probably more accurate gyro sensors. So that's how I can tell if you're twisting. I'm not saying it's going to be accurate. I'm just saying probably more accurate, right? And I could be wrong. Maybe there is a laser on there and it does work that way. But what we saw, I did not see where there was any kind of eye on that, and that would also make the damn thing a lot more expensive. So
it would. And then one of the things that I do like about the new system is I personally am a fan of the magnets connecting and not having to slide. I am a big fan of that.
What's
cool.
Interesting is they must be electromagnets, because I think it said you still press a button to actually release them. So that must be an electromagnet. Then didn't they say that in the direct?
I think so. Or no, I think I saw a video where someone was just pulling it, but they could have been pushing a button at the same time too. So let's get some laps in here. Let's see if I can.
For those who don't know, I'll set this up while you're looking. Baden sent us, as he is required to do legally from this point forward, his reaction to the what would we say it was called, the Dusk Bloods or whatever thing.
Yeah.
You know what? Do you have HDR on? Because that is super washed out.
Yeah, hold on.
You want me to try it?
Yeah, see if you can pull it up because I've got HDR on.
Yeah, this other monitor I have does not have HDR, so let's see.
Oh, unless I go up here and then do it. Let's do that.
You can always just flip off HDR real quick on your monitor too.
There we go. So yeah, anytime that we know that Bloodborne was hopefully going to be announced, but it doesn't, or a 60 frames patch, anything like that, we ask Baden for basically him being very upset or mad. And this one definitely took the cake. If I can make it why did making it bigger make it smaller? Oh, great.
Well, you probably got to start it and then.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. There we go. So this is, of course, it being shown. Also, Baden's hair is amazing.
That camera cut right there. I almost wrecked my fucking car when I saw that.
But it gets better. Like. So good. It's just it. I needed that.
You know what?
After the roller coaster, I needed it.
I was so pissed that day when I watched that. I could not stop laughing for a half hour straight. And I am not joking. I could not stop laughing.
It was exactly what I needed because I was running on not too much sleep. And I usually don't get mad at game stuff. Usually, like I said, I try to find the good and all this stuff. And I told Rick, I said, I think I'm either really tired or something because I am legit mad. And I don't get mad like that. And that was before we found out about all the good stuff after. So it was just an emotional.
To be clear, by good, he means bad. Just so we're on the same page.
So that made my day much better. So thank you, Baden, for posting that. And it was great.
To me, the single funniest part was the elation into an immediate camera cut of absolute depression. Like I think of that. Like that was so funny how he did it. Instead of like having him transition to sad, it was
great.
Being sad. Oh, God, I was dying. So I was fucking dying when I watched that. Like I texted you, I was like, dude, go watch this video. I am dying right now. And then I texted it to Krista because I didn't know she was even going to check out that channel. I was like, I cannot stop. I truly cannot stop laughing because this is so damn funny.
For sure.
Yeah, no, I give Baden all the credit in the world, man. That genuinely cracked me up.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was like driving and I was like kind of like, driving to work, and then I saw it and I was like, I gotta pull over for this. It was good.
I am not being hyperbolic. I had tears streaming out of my eyes. I was laughing so hard at that video.
It was good. I got excited because I wasn't looking at Discord and you texted me and you're like, dude, Baden posted the meme. And I was like, oh boy.
It's to the point we look forward to his misery because it results in our entertainment. Yeah, I will give Baden full marks on this because both me, you, I should say all me, you, and Silk in it, and I think Ellery and all them, we made this one. I'm like, oh yeah, you got to have an epic video to this, and he more than delivered, man. He came through in spades on that one.
In spades, yep.
So yeah, just reminding everybody. I don't know if we've had anybody new, but just in case, we'll be shortly here doing the
shortly here.
Yeah, doing the giveaway for Assassin's Creed Shadows. If you want to be in the drawing and have not yet done so, just tell me in the chat and I'll add you. And that way we got you on the roulette wheel when the time comes.
Yep. Is there a blood bag by your PC?
It would not surprise me if your new PC required blood injections because it's even function.
So it's actually, I have a Star Wars light theme going, so it's like blue and red going back and forth. So that's probably what you're seeing. Probably.
Yeah, it's not counting the fact that we don't see your daughter and she must be giving life force.
Right, yeah, it's sustaining the computer. She's out back there. There's like a little line coming through here, and she's just back there eating, fruit and vegetables to stay sustained.
And she's running on a hamster wheel to give it extra power.
That's right. Oh god. So I think that was all the games. Kirby at the end. Oh, we also had the Zelda.
Oh yeah. You mind if I chime in on that one?
Go ahead. Yeah.
So they did confirm, as a lot of us had assumed, but with Nintendo, you can never assume anything other than they're going to ring your wallet a little bit tighter, which they still did correctly. But we assumed that it would probably have some. What are you pointing at?
The blood bag that he's seeing. Is that what it is? Is that what he's talking about? I'm trying to think of the blood bag. I'm like, I'm not seeing it because that's an alien.
Oh yeah. So if that's
an alien. Yeah, that's an alien poster with the face hugger like inside the chest. So I'm wondering if that's it. But
I was wondering what he was talking. I was like, I don't see any kind of reflection.
I don't see it. I was like,
that makes sense. That makes sense.
That's the only thing I can think of. But it kind of does look like it now that I see it.
Yeah, it looks like it's hanging on one of those medical things.
Future shows, I'm not going to be able to unsee that now. Thanks, Caleb. Damn it.
But anyway, so as many of us had figured, the Switch 2 can improve certain Switch games. Now, obviously, most of them are going to require to be patched to do so. And really, the two main ones that most people are going to actually care about that were announced are Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Of course, those are not free. Now, that's okay, because I'm not necessarily of the mind that everything has to be free, right? However, typically when you do that, you would include additional content, which I guess Nintendo counts using this stupid-ass app as a second screen to be additional content. I would happily pay more to not have that feature in this game. But
such a gimmicky thing.
But nonetheless, here kills the idea of, well, maybe only certain games will be 80, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe Breath of the Wild is 70 and Tears of the Kingdom is 80. Now, if you have it, you pay whatever their as of now undisclosed upgrade fee is.
And I think if you're part of the online or something like that,
I was getting
there, right? Okay.
Yeah, I was getting there. If you have the Nintendo Online expansion pass, you cannot have the cheap one, although I'm going to guess that you probably can't even use the cheap one for Switch 2. You probably have to have the expansion pass version.
Probably.
It does include those upgrades. However, here is the kicker of this, and you were the one that showed me this because I did not realize this. You pay for this upgrade, right? It doesn't give you the fucking DLC.
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom doesn't have DLC, but
right.
So
if this is your first time getting Breath of the Wild, your first time, you are paying $70 for
the game that came out in 2017, I think it was. Yeah. That's the version you're getting, except with the higher resolution and all that.
Higher resolution, HDR, faster load times. No DLC. The DLC does not come with that.
Which is absolutely that's
insanity. Baffling to me.
Yes.
It is such a slap in the face.
That is a massive, and honestly, as much we said about the stupid ass welcome tour or whatever it's called. That honestly,
that right there,
is the most Nintendo thing I've ever seen, and I mean that as a complete and utter insult to Nintendo, because that is when people were bitching about the upgrades for the PS5 version of games, when they were including extra content. If they weren't, okay, I'm with you. They should not have been charged that.
Right.
But when they were including extra content, it's like, no, you're fucking dead wrong here. If you get extra stuff, you shouldn't get that for free, right? This is buying the game at a higher price without the additional content.
It's just crazy. And this is the stuff that, like I said, if you're just your average gamer and you're not picking up on this stuff, but that's perfectly fine. Enjoy it. Well,
that's the problem, is they are squeezing those people dry because they're the ones that don't know about this shit.
Right. And they are literally, as like our title says, Nintendo within just an hour literally changed how games are going to be from the future. Easily, because Sony and Xbox are going to be like, let's go. And they're just going to run with it too for the $80 price tag or whatever with the DLCs and stuff. It's going to happen because Nintendo will make hands over fist money with this, and they're going to be like, well, why not us? And it's going to happen. No DLC is absolutely wild.
The obvious thing to do, and again, this doesn't count Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom does not have DLC, but the obvious thing here is you simply make it either really you throw a bone to your fucking audience that has kept you alive when you were on the brink of honestly going out of not quite going out of business, but you were in a lot of fucking trouble, right?
Right.
But the audience kept them alive by showing out in spades for the Switch. How about you either make it that number one, you buy this upgrade and you just get the DLC, or how about if you have the damn DLC, whatever they called it, like the Hero Champions pack, whatever it's called, that if you own that, then that will include the upgrade as well. Nickel and diming every goddamn thing. It's just like, honestly, if Sony or Microsoft did this, the amount of bitching would be nonstop on Twitter.
Yeah.
And actually, I think it would be for this too. I just don't think enough people realize that that DLC is not included in this. I think people assume it is because anybody with a fucking brain would include it in this.
When I first heard about it, I was like, there's no way that's true. There's no way. So I went searching for multiple places and I was like, holy shit, this is true. I literally could not believe it. Just wild.
Well, we do have a question that I'll bring up because it actually has to do with this where it was.
Yeah.
There it is. It's from Matt. It says, do we think GTA 6 will actually be $100? 3 days ago, I said, hell no, that's insanity. Today, I go,
yeah,
50-50.
Definitely possible.
50-50.
It will. I would throw money down. It will definitely be 80 now. Definitely.
Oh yeah. There's zero chance.
100.
I would not be. So Todd answered and said with 5-day early access, I think 120. I think 120. I would not be surprised to see. Well, that might be maybe a little bit more than that too. But I mean, 100% won't be a penny less than $80. There's a possibility I could see them trying to squeeze out 90. And there's absolutely going to be an early access period that's going to be
for sure
100, 110, 120, whatever it is. Maybe it'll be like $120 and it includes $20 worth of GTA online points. I don't know if obviously that's going to be ready at launch or whatever, but yeah, there's zero chance that the GTA 6 is anything less than $80 now. There's no chance whatsoever.
That I guarantee you. And there's been memes about it of the 2K developers just seeing the direct there going, ha, now we're fine type of thing to do this. And maybe this has been known in the background of gaming gurus of stuff and developers that hey, Nintendo is going to be doing this, and maybe that's why Take-Two has been quiet about pricing, because they're like, well, we know Nintendo is going to come out with their first party games being $80 physical. Let's wait and let them say this, and now we'll announce it or something.
It's just so insane because it's we've all talked about it ad nauseum at this point that the bottom was going to break out on the gaming industry eventually, but
yeah,
why the fuck is it Nintendo that took the bottom out?
I know.
Of all the companies, why was it Nintendo?
Yeah.
And look, their games are quality. I'm not arguing that at all.
For sure.
But they are also undoubtedly and indebatably the lowest in terms of the technical know-how, right? So and actually, to their credit, this is actually a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a compliment for Nintendo, is they are very good most of the time, at least, with their pipelines, right? They're pretty good at staying, at least from what we've heard. They're pretty good about staying on track with their targets and all that stuff. And obviously, most of their stuff sells pretty well, right? So it's they were not the ones that needed to do this, right? If anybody, Microsoft did, since they spent half the money on Earth to buy somebody, but even they're not doing it. It's why the hell is Nintendo the one who thinks it's okay? And again, I do want to say there is a hell of a lot of pushback online. There is. Including from Nintendo fans. There's obviously some morons out there that are just sucking at the teat, saying, oh, no, I appreciate them releasing a Japan-only version that's cheaper. That's great. What if Microsoft did that? What if there was a USA-only version of Xbox that
riots in the street?
That was $100 less?
Yeah.
Microsoft would be burned to the ground.
Yep.
But because it's Nintendo, these idiots are going, well, that's very nice of them. No, it's not.
Everybody's going to start learning Japanese and try to region and bring it in. And like you said, it to the point of the games, and we kind of brought it up on Todd's show a little bit. Definitely go check out that show, because we get in pretty deep over there too. with the games for me, it's not only the fact that they're raising it to $80 and other companies going to be like, cool, we're jacking our prices to 80. It's the fact that I know Nintendo first party games are good. Even if I don't like the genre of a certain game or something, I know that Nintendo game is going to be good. It's just like law, basically. But when I pay $80 for a game, and or even one of their third party titles that are coming over that are now 70 or whatever, on other consoles, on PC, I'm getting faster load times. I'm getting, I'm getting RTX or ray tracing. I'm getting a higher resolution.
You're getting games that are actually pushing the technology of consoles. On Switch, you're not getting that.
No, and then with the first party games on Nintendo, not to say like the developers are bad or anything, because I know the game is fantastic that I'm going to play. It's the fact that why am I paying $80 for a game that I know is not going to be as deep, because Nintendo games just aren't as deep as other games. They just aren't. So they're not going to be as deep. The graphics aren't going to be as good as other titles. The load times, while they are better, they are not nearly as good as other consoles or PC. So it's like, why am I paying this extra money for a great game, but I'm not getting as much stuff as I should be? For me, that's how I feel. That's what's killing me with it. Like if Borderlands 4 comes out and I have other consoles and a PC and Borderlands is $70 everywhere, there is zero reason for me to get it on a Switch. Zero.
Sure.
Unless I want it handheld. But for me personally, that's not for me.
Todd asked, does tech matter when he butchered it, but he means Balatro. I see he changed said it later. One of the biggest games of 2024.
True.
It does. And you know why? Because Balatro is not $80.
Right.
I guess they've confirmed it's actually Balatro is how you should pronounce that. But
fancy.
Yeah. What's his name said that? Whatever the name, the guy's name is. That's the difference. Is they sold that for $5-10, whatever it was. So, and obviously, I'm not saying it should cost the same as a Nintendo game either. That's not what I'm getting at.
No.
I'm saying the point is that is a game. If that game was even $40, it never would have sold like it did. It never would have been close to what it sold. Right? Yeah. It sold because it was quality, but also because it was something inexpensive that you can do on your phone or whatever, to kill time. But no one's going to pay full price for a game like that, right? And now, obviously, there's no comparison between something like that and what I'm talking about with Nintendo. Like I'm in terms of budgetary, there's not anything close there. But the reality is, Nintendo aren't spending, and this is, I'm not saying that it's okay that Sony does, but Sony spends all this money on the technology development before they even start working on the game. It's like, that's why they had to charge what they did. Whether that's right or wrong is aside from the point, but the difference is Sony did have to put a ton of money into, or Microsoft. I mean, I'm just saying Nintendo, or just Sony here, but the reality is all the AAAs. They put how much money into the development of whatever game it was. Nintendo, because they are good with their pipeline and all that stuff, they're not putting that much money into it. This is straight up, zero debate about it. This is greed from Nintendo. There is zero question whatsoever. And I get it, soaking it. Most people would not pay $75 for that. You would, and that's fine. Most people would not.
That's fantastic.
I'm not talking about the quality of the game at all. I'm just simply saying, you look at that game, it's like there's nothing in that game that warrants $75. Not judging what you like and don't like. I don't want it to come across that way. I'm just saying.
Before we get into more of the after show and stuff, should we let's say it's an hour in, should we do our giveaway? I haven't seen anybody new come in, or
we'll do a 5-minute last warning here. Well, we'll do an 8-minute last warning, because then it's at quarter till. So at 8:45 we will do the drawing. This is last call to put your name in for the drawing if you want, but are not in it yet. So 8 minutes we'll do the drawing. I'll set an alarm on my phone so I don't forget.
So Yeah, so that's my problem with Nintendo charging that amount is I'm not getting as much as what I can get for the same game somewhere else. And if it's a first party game, I know it's going to be good, but I know it's also not going to be as deep and customizable and graphically intensive and some shiny bells and whistles. So it's just hard for me to justify that price. Now, clown makeup time, I'm gonna do it for some games, and I'm gonna try and get it one of their consoles because
unfortunately, I guarantee you, Metroid Prime 4 is going to be $80, and I'll pay it for that.
Yeah, because I haven't seen the
they didn't price
which
that one.
It will be. Tears of the Kingdom is $80, and that's an old game, and we also haven't gotten the prices for how much these upgrades costs are going to be,
because they're going to be $20 to $30.
I'm thinking
so they're going to be more expensive than if you bought the game and buy the upgrade. It's going to be more expensive than if you just buy the game straight up. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
when you count the purchase of the original one-handed.
Yeah. And Todd said Switch 2 carts are apparently more expensive and using faster speeds, which they are.
But what about digital?
They are.
What about digital?
What about digital?
Why would you have to pay more for a digital copy then?
Yeah. And also, yes, it's faster. It's faster for if you're going from Switch to Switch 2. But when, I was complaining to you earlier, and while it might, I don't know, for some reason it just rubbed me the wrong way. They did a side-by-side comparison of Breath of the Wild and of how long it took to warp to someplace. And with the animations and stuff, it basically was 16 seconds compared to 24 seconds or something. Which
I disagree with you here. I think it is a pretty market difference.
It is definitely a market difference on the Switch. Totally.
Well, what else would you
boot up Spider-Man 2 on the PS5 and you warp across an entire city with ray tracing? It's 2 seconds.
Sure.
So why am I paying $80 for something that isn't as fast as other stuff?
I will say though, it actually looks a lot better.
It does look a lot better.
Like when I first watched it, I was like, man, this doesn't look much better. But Alex pointed out I was watching the IGN video, which caps at 1080p. If you watch the Nintendo one, it is a proper 4K stream, and I watch it. I'm like, yeah, there's zero debate which one is which. It looks significantly better. It's the resolution bump, and then obviously the HDR makes a lot.
And then we get the HDR too, which is nice. And like I said, that is great. It just, I don't know, for some reason is just rubbing me the wrong way. I think it's just because I'm so used to Nintendo being a little bit cheaper on their games because they know, and now it's not. So I'm comparing it to other things. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I don't know. I don't know why I'm just fired up about.
No, I mean, you're not alone, man. A lot of us really are.
I think it's just because it is going to affect. I don't think people realize how much this literally is going to change how
arrogance. It's arrogance and greed that is going to cause a massive economic fallout in the industry.
You think Sony's gonna look at this and be like, oh, we charging $10, and people were complaining about that. Right. For something actually worth $10 because they included DLC. It was a huge upgrade.
In some cases they did not, and there it was a valid complaint. But most of them they did actually have something extra in them.
Yeah. And then they go and look over. Like I said, we don't know how much these upgrades are, but I hope they are only $10. But if they come out and say they are
$10, if they're $10, I'm like, all right, you can't bitch about that.
That's fine.
But if
they come out and say 20, 25. Damn well Sony and Microsoft for these little upgrades, they're going to be like, oh, well, maybe we'll do 15, maybe we'll do 20. It's going to happen because if Nintendo is going to make money hand over fist with this, plain and simple. So everybody else is going to tag along.
And also, what'll be very, very interesting is they're obviously going to use Mario Kart as a like a test piece for this.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to include bundle sales.
Will they be looking at the fact that they're also selling copies for $50 and they include with the Switch? Because, a lot of people have no problem paying $50 for it, but a lot of people have a problem paying $80. So if you lump them together, you're not getting accurate data on that. But
yeah, which I'm afraid they will do just to skew it and be like, oh man, Mario Kart sold so much, which it will regardless.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
But yeah. I digress. Like I said, clown makeup on. I'm going to try and get one.
Yeah. Also, speaking of clown makeup, Silk Song alive, baby.
We did see that
Don't give up hope, brothers. Don't give up hope.
We did see that.
It is still out there, and it is 2025.
Yeah.
So then on December 29th of 2025, when we're like, does this mean it comes out tomorrow? We'll have a whole new set of makeup to apply. But it's alive. It is still out there. all the haters telling us it was canceled. We got to give them a nice middle finger.
Yeah. There were a couple first party games. I'm interested in Donkey Kong. It's not a system seller for me, but we had mentioned on Todd's show, like, are we going to get it at launch? The only reason I'm going to get the Switch 2 at launch, if I can, is because I know I can sell my Switch OLED and I can get the console hopefully for half price, depending on what these delays and tariff thing comes out to be. Enter the Gungeon. I did notice that Silk in it, so I am excited.
I didn't actually. I was about to tell him. I think that
I'm excited.
I think that was when
it was frozen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that, nobody knew it because their video screwed up. That's not the fact that nobody cared. It's because it was when nobody could see it.
Exactly. And I heard Enter the Gungeon too, and I'm like, oh, cool. I wish.
But you knew.
I could look it up on YouTube.
Did they say it, or you mean the music or whatever?
They said it. They
did they? Okay, actually, I did not hear it. I think I was too busy trying to refresh the stream on what the hell was going on. Because I did not hear them say that, but. Yeah, I was gonna say I know for a fact I didn't see it, and that's why, because it was when the damn stream was frozen.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, we are 1 minute here, so we'll start to get things set up. Last call.
Anybody that's in here, if you want your name in there, it's not just for Xbox. It's for any PC, PlayStation.
It's Steam, not PC.
Steam.
I'm not buying Epic version. If you want Epic, you should out of luck. Yes, Steam. Okay, we're out of time. So. Entries are closed. Here we go.
We're done.
Let me do the share screen here.
I put in my name twice.
You didn't put your name in at all because I'm the one who's entering it. This one? Yeah, it's this one.
I did like that little wheel thing. It was kind of cool. Yeah.
All right. So here we go.
We got Ellery, Caleb,
Krista,
Nissa,
Matt. I put Matt K in case Matt, but
I think Todd wanted his name in there too. I believe Todd did say.
Did you, Todd? You can tell me now. As long as you said it before, I'll still add him.
I'm almost positive.
I missed it if you did. Okay, I'll add him.
Yep.
Sorry about that. I missed that, Todd. I didn't see you say it.
Yeah, we got Saber in there. I think we got Matt. Baden didn't want in. I think that was
Baden definitely said he was not. Okay, so I'm also going to shuffle it. So they're in different locations.
Oh.
So here we go. Right.
No, shuffle it one more time.
One more time.
Yeah, one more time.
All right, there we go. It really doesn't matter at this point, but. All right, so now I'll leave it up to you. Now we got enough people. I'd say, do we do like the first time you come up twice, but now we got enough people that once is.
I think just the once. I think we're good.
Okay, so here we go.
This is like the first major giveaway too. I'm excited. We got.
Sabarito.
Hey, looks like that. I like the little fireworks. Bravo. Fantastic.
Congratulations, Sabarito.
So Sabarito, that's all yours.
You have yourself a new copy of Assassin's Creed Shadows. DM me on Discord. I am in XCP, so you can find my name there. DM me which version you want and whether you want physical or digital, depending on what platform you go for. If you want
like
physical,
the mirror effect we got going on here.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot that was still streaming.
Infinite Dune.
Sorry about that. And if you want a physical copy, obviously I'll need your mailing address. I will probably then order you which version you want just on Amazon and just ship it straight to you, or however the hell that whatever. Whatever's the easiest way to do it is probably how I'll do it. If you want digital, if it's Steam or Xbox, I can just gift it to you. I'll just have to add you as a friend, I think. If you want it on PS5, that's a little more complicated.
We're not doing that.
If you want it on PS5, it's a little more complicated because you can't gift on PS5. So we'll have to figure out how to do that one.
Can you still not gift on PS5?
No, I looked it up yesterday.
Really?
Okay.
Interesting.
Sabrito, send me a friend request on Steam if you're at your computer. Put 4969 is me. My icon is Sonic the Hedgehog, waving his finger. I'll accept it, and then I'll just gift it through there to you. be clear,
Awesome.
That game is on Steam. To be clear, right? I assume
It is. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I kept saying that. I was like, I assume it is.
Yeah, it is still on Steam, but I think you need the Ubisoft launcher for that.
Yeah, you probably do. But it's worth saying I can purchase it through there for him.
Hey, thanks for coming around, Todd. Have a good night.
All right, see you, Todd.
So yeah, cool. That was awesome. I was kind of thinking about before, we had mentioned this with the big, Assassin's Creed is huge giveaway, which is awesome. So thank you for doing that. But I was trying to think of like just finding like, I don't know, just like cheap codes on like CD keys or something just to.
Well, yeah, I've kind of been trying to like. I'll have to ask people if there is a place where like not even just have them give them to us, but where I could buy a code for whatever platform.
Cheaper, yeah.
Yeah, I mean Xbox again, it's not a big deal. You can just gift it, but PlayStation you can't do that. So I'd have to actually be able to buy a code for PS5, and I don't know where the hell you can do that. Yeah, I could go out and buy a
gift card,
preloaded card, but
right. I don't know. I will have to think about it. But yeah, so I guess back to Switch now. Before,
but the CD keys have console versions. I know they have PC versions. I don't know if
they do have console versions.
Oh, okay.
But they're lacking. It's not.
Really?
It's not like all of the games. It's very. It's PC wise fantastic.
Okay. Yeah. I knew that. They are.
But other than that, it's a lot of DLC. There's some games on there, just not many. So yeah, we'll look into it. I used to be on like Humble Bundle, and they would give you like 10, 15 codes every month, and I never played them, so I just like tossed them away, gave them to people, and I was like, of course, now that I'm doing the podcast, I'm not part of it anymore. But
I just got your friend invite, so I'll accept it now.
Sweet, so cool, congratulations.
So actually, I will gift it to you as we're speaking so that I don't forget.
Oh my lord. Yeah, don't forget. Jeez Louise. And I'll continue. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the Switch like whole thing. And then the after we got news after news. We got the prices of the games being $80. There was some people even myself that was like, holy crap, we're getting $90 games possibly. Yeah. But that was more Europe prices, Canada, stuff like that was getting just mixed in, which is still horrible because when you do the price conversion in Europe, it's like $117 for a game American, which is just I don't even know. But one of the cool things we did learn about today, which is I kind of think we knew it, but this is like confirmed now that it is an NVIDIA chip and it is running AI DLSS. So the price of the console currently at $450, I think that's okay, honestly, especially with the DLSS in there. And it can run modern games, hopefully at 1080p, docked, undocked. That's, if people can play Borderlands 4 on the Switch at 4K because of the DLS on their TV, then that's a pretty good deal for $450, honestly, especially from the Switch. So I think that price point is fine. However, we also got the news today that because of tariffs implemented, that Nintendo has delayed the pre-orders in US only. So which it's clearly not confirmed or anything, but to me that clearly says Nintendo's like, yeah, we're actually going to charge more for this.
Or at least they're going to crunch further numbers to see.
Yeah, they're definitely crunching, because the thing is like Financial Times has a couple reports that they have already sent them stateside, and they were $338 per console to be shipped over or whatever. And they're like, so, what are the prices going to go up after the first batch, is done? And then, of course, now we got the pause and the delay. So they were like, oh, if they do go the tariff route, it probably won't be as much. But with the tariff percentage, it could be an extra $152 each on these consoles, which is just insane. So if they went the whole route,
they can't sell this for $600. It'll
no way. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Honestly, the absolute most that they can do is 500. They
That's
can't
what-
go a penny more than 500.
If they come up with a higher price, it's going to be 500. I don't think it's going to be anything more than that because people are not going to buy it at that point. Even at 450, people are like, you can get a Steam Deck, OLED for the same price almost. And if it goes up even higher,
crazy thought, but now it's not like this would happen overnight. You know what I can possibly foresee out of this? So let's say they decide they do have to increase prices, right? And they're going 550, and let's be honest. I'm sorry, not 500. Let's be honest. Even at 500,
man.
Even at 500, Nintendo is going to be making a profit. Don't fool yourself. Nintendo don't sell anything at less than making profit. What I could maybe see them doing, but it would take some R&D time. But I would guess they would speed it up. Is try to make some kind of. So remember how on Switch you had the stupid ass Switch Lite, which didn't have a docked version. I could see them making a version that was a docked only version,
much quicker
to try to remove the screen and get costs down and maybe sell that for 400 or whatever, which would not be a good value. But I could see them trying to do something like that to try to get a $400 version of it.
Yep, I wouldn't be surprised either.
If they do that, that shouldn't be more than 300. But
right.
Nintendo will charge 400 for it.
Yeah,
but I could totally see that to try to get a cheaper version out there.
Yeah,
honestly, so what I said, Burrito. I don't care about the hand. Like, I'm not saying I never use it handheld, but I rarely do. I'll use it primarily as a console.
Yeah, and I think that's also what was rubbing me the wrong way. Is for me personally, the Switch and with the Switch 2 is going to be a handheld for me. And I also didn't bring this up from before when they were revealing it. Like the fact that I use this 99% of the time as a handheld, I am so mad that the Joy-Cons are still not ergonomical.
Well, I thought about that. It might be a little bit better than what you think since they're bigger. That actually might help.
Maybe
because you won't be as cramped. It might
right.
It might spread out your fingers a little bit more. Like,
it might.
The analog sticks are still going to be more or less in the same spot, but I think they are a little bit thicker too. So it actually might.
Yeah, it actually might be placement of the analog and the buttons. It's the fact that, like you said, it is super scrunchy. So I get like my hands kind of like like an old lady.
I got an idea for you. Have you ever heard of the Mechanism gaming pillow?
No, which
I guarantee you.
I have heard of it, but
it's the thing I had. I showed a few weeks ago.
But like,
I guarantee you that they'll make one for the Switch 2. Probably.
Oh yeah,
it'll be available within a month of launch. I'm sure.
But and the reason why the Switch is such a handheld for me is because for my work, I am constantly in my truck. I'm sitting in it a lot, so that's where I play it. So yeah, maybe it being larger is cool, but also the price point of $450, or if it is higher, if it's not comfortable for me, now I got to also include, third-party handles that are going to be, more comfortable for me.
Not that it helps you now, although again, maybe they'll make another version. But another option, actually, I think I showed you this. I bought this a while ago for my Switch. It's actually pretty cool. It's called I forget the name. I don't know if I
saw that.
I never showed this to you. Well,
I don't think so.
Keep talking, because I'll show you what it does, and I think you'll see right away why it's a cool thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Baldwin in chat said I got some Joy-Cons that are shaped better. So did I. I had to buy them, like I said, third party, and they are much more comfortable. I can hold it longer. So it's not something that I want to buy on top of a brand new system, which I will. So it's just another extra cost I have to think about. And especially with this delay and possible tariff, it's just like possible upkeep. Also, the other big thing for physical collectors, not so much for people that are digital, is that these game keys. So when you buy a physical edition, the game is not on there. Some games are.
Yeah, so that's not all of them. I've heard people think that it is.
Some games are, like Cyberpunk. The whole game and the DLC is on there. Oh, that's kind of fancy.
Yeah, I forget what the name is. But yeah, it lets you use your. I love this thing.
Oh wait, you're using the controller too?
I'm using the Pro controller. It's basically a little.
I like that.
Yep.
Oh damn.
And then if you want, I can't show it super well on the stream, but hold on a second. You can actually use it. That. It's designed so that you can actually use it as a
Oh, like a little stand,
like a little
too?
stand. So
Okay,
you can set it there and then still use your Joy-Con.
That's actually quite nice. I like that.
Your Joy-Con, your Pro Controller.
The Pro Controller, yeah.
It's called the fixture, I think. But
Yeah.
you obviously, because of how it works, because it attaches to the rails. Like
That's
the Joy-Cons
cool.
do.
Yeah.
So depending whether you have an OLED or a regular one, you have to make sure you get the right one, obviously, because the OLED is a little bigger. This is an OLED. It's the Splatoon version, which was the only thing they had at the time. I paid more to not have Splatoon, but it has the fancy ass.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I actually really like
cool.
this thing. This was a good purchase. It was like $50. Like, it really wasn't bad.
That's worth it.
Yeah, it basically makes it that, like, when I was playing it, if I was playing a handheld limited or whatever, I could just use my Pro Controller then.
Yeah.
I played a shit ton of Tears of the Kingdom this way.
So back to the game key card thing is like, Cyberpunk's on there, the entire DLC, so it seems to be up to developers.
That's interesting because that does mean that in some way it's more advanced than the PS4 and Xbox One version, because they did not get Phantom Liberty or the 2.0 update or anything successive. The Switch 2 version does have Phantom Liberty and the whatever the most recent thing is.
But I know Elden Ring isn't on the game key at all,
which is hilarious because that's got to be a smaller install than Cyberpunk.
Bravely Default is not on there at all, and some people are like, oh, it's not a big deal, as you just download it. I'm like, yeah, but some people who buy this, who have very slow internet speeds or whatever, they expect it to be on there. And also what Silken and I've been wondering this too.
Exactly. They have not confirmed it. Like what I'm wondering is, and I assume it's what he's getting at, if you buy one of these game card versions, whatever they call them, do you put it in and then how the Switch game, it can ding that particular card was used for the points or whatever. So clearly that's the advantage of using cards as opposed to discs, is they can put a piece of data on it. Will it say, okay, this game is now tied to this account, and then you can just play it like a digital version? Or will it do that, but then you have to have the card in the thing? Or will it just basically ping a download that then you have to have the card? Yeah, they have not been clear about that at all.
No. Which sucks. So it that also leaves it up to there. Like I said, does it lock it to your account? Does it lock it to that certain Switch? So it's like...
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm getting at.
We don't know for sure, but that if that does happen, then goodbye, pre-owned, goodbye letting a friend borrow it or whatever. Like I said, we don't know yet, and that's something they really do need to clear up, like, fast, especially before pre-orders and stuff. Whenever they do, I can't imagine us waiting much longer for this pre-order delay. I can't imagine that being too long, because they haven't changed the launch date.
Right, correct. Yeah, a week or two is all I suspect. They're probably just going to recrunch some numbers, see if they got to change pricing, and then put them up anyway.
Yep. So with the whole game card thing, it's just, as a physical collector, that leaves a salty taste in my mouth.
Yeah, we really got fisted as physical.
Yep. As physical people, just absolutely get. Cyberpunk, it's on.
I never thought I would say this, but it is to the point now that Sony is our last hope as physical owners.
Yeah,
Microsoft has totally abandoned them. And it seemed like Nintendo would forever be the one that
I thought
would say physical, and they clearly have got.
It was,
and also
never a thought in my idea or my brain that Nintendo would be the ones to do this for physical wise.
And the thing about it is too, of them all, Nintendo is by far the one I trust the least to buy something digitally. And it's not even close. I don't trust them to have your library available in 6 months, let alone a couple generations from now.
It's weird. Like, I'm super comfortable with Steam because I've had Steam since whenever.
And the reality is, Steam is essentially the embodiment of PC gaming at this point. So I am confident that's not going anywhere. But I don't trust Sony or Microsoft, and I definitely do not trust.
I really don't. And it could possibly, it could be perfectly fine, but for some reason, just something scratching at the back of my head, just like, I don't know. It just.
And also, I'll be honest. No, actually, unfortunately the Switch 2 boxes look like shit. Like they have that banner way too big. But like
Yeah.
I actually really liked the way the Switch cases looked. Like
Yeah.
I like they were small. They look clean. I liked how
Yep.
that's all
It
the
was
more you
just
got
tiny
there,
up
right?
there.
It's a
Yep.
like you get a lot of box art.
Yep.
It looks cool. Yeah, I mean, you know, I just that was good box design. And it's like,
Yeah, I liked the Switch box design. I don't like the Switch 2 where it's just like
yeah. And
yeah,
like I
too busy,
saw
too
I saw
busy.
like a markup that somebody made. They made two of them where they made one like the Switch where it's just in the upper left hand corner, just has the two. And I saw one where they still had it like it does now, where it's the banner, but it's smaller. And it's like that looks so much better than what we actually get.
Yeah, Baldwin, right on point. So many games are lost to the void when they shut down the 3DS eShop.
You cannot trust Nintendo because I cannot emphasize this enough.
Yeah, those are gone.
Nintendo, less so than any of the other manufacturers, does not give a fuck about you. They genuinely do not fuck. And if you don't believe me, look no further, especially if you are in the West. If you don't believe me, look no further than back on the Wii, when they had those 3 RPGs that everyone fucking begged for, and the stupid cocksuckers would not release them.
Yeah,
they did release Xenoblade, and that was the only one. Someone else brought over Last Story, and I don't think
Exceed.
Was that who it was? Okay, and
Exceed,
I don't think we ever even got the third one in the West. I think Europe did.
There wasn't.
It was the something tower was.
I can't remember what it was. Exceed was supposed to bring that one too, and it didn't. My knowledge, it didn't.
And Nintendo fans begged them to do it.
Yeah,
it's just like the Mother series, where people have been begging them for years to bring. I guess it's Mother 3, because Mother 1 was actually a Game Boy game, right? And then,
I think so, yeah.
And then Earthbound was Mother 2, and then Mother 3 was a Game Boy Advance game, I believe. How many years now have people have?
Too.
That was the one I just mentioned, Mother 2. It was
yep.
Earthbound. Earthbound is what they called it over here. But how many years have people begged them to bring Mother 3 over? Nobody gives a shit about Mother 1, but they've been begging them for years to do it, and they simply refuse to do it. Instead, what do? And I'm not criticizing this because this was a good call too, but they released the unreleased version of Star Fox 2 on that stupid Super. And again, that's cool. I like they did that, even though it's a broken, unplayable mess. It's good that it's there.
Right.
But they refuse to bring the game that people have been asking for 30 freaking years over. They refuse to do it. Nintendo does not give a shit about the West at all. They care about your money. They don't care about you whatsoever.
Yeah. These are the people who charged you for cardboard.
Yeah.
That's all that needs to be said.
And they charge you exorbitant prices for cardboard.
That's all that needs to be said.
And unfortunately, there were a lot of idiots that bought that too.
Only Nintendo could have done that.
I'm a huge idiot. Like I buy all kinds of stupid shit. You could not have paid me to buy a Labo. You could not have paid me for that.
No. Let's see. Is there anything else that we're missing? Because there was just so much information on.
There was,
coming out afterwards, and it was just like hit after hit after hit. I'm like, what is going on?
Well, I mean, again, there was enough to, even if you were the biggest Nintendo fan, there was some stuff to be excited about in the Direct itself. But what about the Pro Controller? They announced it or what?
No, I was just in chat. Saberito said the Pro Controller. I will say the Pro Controller does look good. Nissa, the camera was announced.
The camera looks like dog shit, actually.
I don't like
that. Looks like dog shit.
And the fact that when they showed it in a closed place, it ran horribly.
It was awful.
How is it going to run? How is it going to run when you have people with bad bandwidth? Whatever. And can we I haven't. I'm not going to try and pretend I know. I haven't played Nintendo Online for. I can't even think.
I think I tried.
Is it still like a number? Are you still a Nintendo? So what are you going to do when you?
Well, they have not said that that's how Switch 2 is going to work, and I'm going to guess that probably won't, because your Nintendo Switch Online membership, you do still tag an email to it. So my guess is that they're going to drop the friend code thing. But
I did not see a Piranha Plant.
Yeah, it's made
so there's a third-party cameras.
It's a third-party one. Yeah, it's made by, I think, Hori. I could be wrong on that, but
I will say the camera while playing games like Mario Party and stuff, and you see the person's face as they're like winning and stuff. That's kind of cool. I'm okay with that. But once again, it is pay. It's locked behind a paid. It's part of that party chat that you have to pay for.
And the second you have an Xbox 360 Uno situation, which you will have day one with this thing, Nintendo, I guarantee you, Nintendo's going to go in there and make it that you can only use the camera in closed games and all kinds of bullshit. Nintendo is going to go in there and lock it down because people are going to be deranged.
I know they mentioned there was like a lot of family parental locks and blah blah blah.
And that's fine. I don't have an issue with that at all. I don't have an issue with that,
which is fine, which is perfectly fine. But you, like you said, it's going to happen in these Mario Party games or something. They're going to come up with a thing and they're like, "Do you want to see random people's camera?" And you're like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And then all of a sudden,
there's going to be a penis on your screen. Yeah,
there's going to be a penis, or there's going to be just hateful shit. It's online.
Do you remember when PS4 first launched and it had the PS4 camera? And remember it had like Twitch integration, like real seamless Twitch integration. And it took like 2 days until some idiot streamed himself having sex doing this. And it was just like, oh god, here we go. Yeah. And it was literally like 2 days after the PS4 launch that happened. Twitch banned the account, PlayStation banned the account, and it didn't matter. It created a mess.
Yeah, on PS4, where if someone, it was almost like their own version of Twitch, where you could just peruse random people videoing shit. And there was like people having sex. There was just the worst goddamn shit ever on there. It was just it was just crazy. And now for me, I found it hilarious, but for 90% of people, kids and stuff, you can't be having that.
Nintendo will melt down the first time it happens.
Oh my god, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So I think the camera is cool in some instances. I don't think it's going to work well with like, play Mario Kart and see 4 other people playing Mario Kart while they're playing. And it's like, I hope it does. I don't think it will.
And it's not going to.
And the thing is, it's like the way they showed it, like I said, slow, frames and stuff. This is at the time of launch. What's going to happen 3 years from now when it's older tech and it's I don't know. Nissa says, but you can't chat or see someone unless they are on your friends list, which
the Switch 2 is not out yet. That might be how it works on the Switch. That's not necessarily how it works here.
How many people have sent random friends? I get on
I still get random Xbox messages almost every time
from like random people. So
they're not even people, they're bots, but
still. It's a bot. So someone on the Switch 2, a little kid's gonna get random invites, and or I'm sure you can turn that off with family parental control and stuff, but it's going to happen, and Nintendo's gonna get fired up.
All right, well, fair enough. I missed that actually.
But once again, you're gonna get random friend invites, or you're gonna get people just in a group. And someone's going to be drunk doing something stupid because it's the internet. It's what happens. But Nintendo will freak out over it more than Sony, Xbox, whatever, over it. I'm trying to think. Is there like I said, there was just so much information.
Nissa said they confirmed they're still doing the friend code. Well, good job. We should really keep doing what everybody on Earth has told you is a really fucking stupid idea. We should keep doing that.
The friend code.
Nintendo really knows what they're doing, right?
The friend code reminds me of when I was a teenager. And do you remember ICQ? Do you remember that messenger app at all?
Yeah, but I never.
It was a phone number.
It was a vomit of numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it was. And I'm like, this is what. It is, and I'm like,
and the sad part is ICQ or ICQ probably would function better than what Switch 2 is
probably. But yeah, all said and done, I'm not happy about it. I'll get it because there's nothing for me immediately, but I know there'll be some RPGs or a new Xenoblade, a new Zelda. I know at some point there will be something I want, and I'm probably should get into it now when I can sell my OLED and get it a little bit cheaper. Whereas further down the line, it's just going to get more expensive for me to buy it. So, but that's if I can get one. You know damn well pre-orders on this thing are going to be.
I don't know. I don't think they'll be too bad because
Yeah.
Switch was very easy. I actually pre-ordered my Switch like 3 days after they went up. I was like, you know what?
Really?
I didn't think they'd be available, but I was like, you know what? I kind of want one.
I don't think I got a Switch well,
I did.
I don't think I got one immediately. Maybe I did, but I don't know.
Well, Matt, if you're gonna wait until you know the next Pokemon game will be good, you might wait.
Gonna be
Might
waiting
want to
a
wait
while.
for a long time because
Yeah.
the last few
I know
Pokemon games. I know some of them haven't been so bad, but obviously Violet.
I know that last
awful.
Pokemon game is getting an upgrade, but once
Yes.
again, we don't know.
So now instead of running at 10 frames a second, we'll run it at 20.
Dude,
Yeah.
that was a mess. So that's getting an upgrade. They need to come up with upgrade prices on how much things are going to be. They need to do that. Saburito. The Best Buy is doing a midnight release, which is awesome. That's fantastic.
I'm talking about their technical thing, Matt. Their technical thing, they were an absolute travesty.
Oh yeah, when that last one came out, it was awful. It ran at like 10 frames. Sometimes there was like blotches on the screen. It's fixed from what I know of, but yeah, it was.
I think I heard it absolutely is not.
Oh Jesus!
I think I heard it's still a total mess.
God,
I don't play Pokemon, so I don't care.
I don't know
what I've heard, but
I bought that Pokemon game, but I played it for like 5 minutes, and to be completely honest, that was my first Pokemon game, which is wild to say. I know, but oh god. But yeah, there'll be something out that I want. There'll be an RPG. Like I said, there'll be a Xenoblade. There'll be something I want.
I do want Bravely Default's HD remaster because I hated the DS. So yeah, I know that's a hot take. I'm not shit talking it. I just didn't care for it at all.
Yeah, and Bravely Default is amazing.
3DS, I mean. Yeah, that's
Bravely Default is so good. But although Default is also on a Switch, on regular Switch.
Oh, is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, really?
I think so. I don't think it's Switch 2.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think.
They revealed the Switch 2 Direct, so I sure
they did. Oh, maybe.
But there may be a Switch version. You might be right. Either way, I mean, if I'm getting Switch 2, I would get the Switch 2 version. But,
yeah.
Yeah, so probably that.
Look at it.
Probably that Donkey Kong, since it's only a month or so.
Donkey Kong looks fun to me. Is it a system seller? No. If I get the system at launch, I'll probably get it. Yeah. And to be fair, if I wish it was a Donkey Kong
Country game instead, but it is what it is, I guess.
At least we got that remake, or not remake, but upgrade, whatever it was, from Donkey Kong Country Returns or whatever.
Oh, you mean the one that came out? The one that came out already?
Yeah. The one thing I will say, if I do get the Switch, it's going to have to be the bundle, because I do want Mario Kart. I do want that, but I'm not paying $450 and $80 together. It's gonna have to be the bundle for me.
Actually, I was about to say this. Saburito said DK looks a lot like Odyssey. There's reason for that. It is actually the team that made Odyssey. Alex was actually talking about on X Button. I think that's where he was talking about it. I don't remember the exact details, but he said something like after Odyssey came out, they immediately started working on a new Mario game, I think he said. And then there was rumors that it switched, and this clearly seems to be what it switched to, because it even has the same like art design as Odyssey. I did not care for Odyssey myself, but I think that I loved Galaxy. I did not like Odyssey very much. But I do think this looks pretty cool.
I wasn't a huge fan of Odyssey. I thought it was just okay. The last Mario Kart game the last Mario game I truly, really enjoyed was Mario Galaxy. I love Galaxy.
I still hate that they never ported Galaxy 2 to Switch.
Yep.
Because I really did. Like,
I would buy that instantly.
I am not a big Mario guy. I never have been, but Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2 were wonderful.
They were so good. I loved those. The Kirby games that they announced looks cool, but one of them is just a remake of the GameCube game, right?
It's a sequel, but it's a
it is okay.
It's basically a kart racer without being on carts,
right? Which
I don't care about that at all.
Which Mario Kart and Kirby Kart.
Now the Kirby the Forgotten Land Switch 2 update, which I assume actually this content is probably available on Switch as well, but it does have some other gameplay thing to it. I don't know exactly what, but I don't know if it's a new set of levels or if the levels are changed. I don't know, but it's something else.
Wasn't there? I just randomly think because other people were talking because they're like, "Ooh, super excited about Donkey Kong being in 3D finally and stuff." Wasn't there a Donkey Kong on the Nintendo 64 that was 3D and it was trash?
It depends who you talk to. I did not play it. But yes, there was. It was Donkey Kong 64.
Because people are like, oh, this is the first 3 Donkey Kong, and I'm like, I don't think so.
It's not. No, it's not.
Okay.
It actually might have been Donkey Kong Country 64. I don't remember, but
it was something 64.
It's very infamous for one thing, and that is that it basically regurgitates collectibles at you. It has just
really?
An extraordinarily stupid number of collectibles, evidently. And like so if all you want to do is collect stuff, then yeah, you're probably great with that. But if you're someone that like wants to have a set number, that basically broke people, because I guess it's absurd how many collectibles are in that game.
Yeah, I think maybe Bravely Default 2 is a Switch 2 only. God, no.
What?
Now I really need it.
Because of Bravely Default?
Yes, because that game is amazing.
I saw that apparently. Now, I actually, when we were watching it, I was wondering why you guys, or not you guys, I was wondering why you were like, yes! I saw that apparently a lot of people thought that was Garnet.
I totally did. I thought that was Garnet, and I about lost my collective. I almost lost my collective shit.
I was like, I didn't know you liked Bravely Default. Like, as soon as I saw it, I knew it was Bravely Default. I was like, I didn't know you liked that much.
I think it was because I was just so excited because we got the Final Fantasy IX news that the 25th anniversary is coming up. So I was like, oh my God. I literally, I lost my collective shit for about like 5 seconds.
After the fact, I realized why.
Yeah, I was like, God damn! But I'm still excited. It's Bravely Default because that is a fantastic game. It is. It's a lot like the older Final Fantasies. So like 6, 9. It's a lot like those. So, what is it?
Sabrina said Retro needs to get done with Metroid so they can make a new side scroller Donkey Kong. Tropical Freeze was amazing. I choose to take that as a personal attack.
Take Assassin's Creed back.
I want that back. No, don't wrong. I agree that Tropical Freeze was amazing because it was.
It was. That was good.
Metroid Prime is Nintendo's best games ever.
Now, see, and I told you this, and it's sad to say, I haven't played a Metroid game since the Super Nintendo. And I do want to play these, and the new one does look good, so I do need to.
When I was in the deepest throes of my the hater minds of Nintendo, right? And I mean, I was leading the charge here. I was leading the Urukai against Helm's Deep in my hatred of Nintendo here. I still was like, oh yeah, I gotta be able to play Metroid because Metroid's amazing.
One thing I didn't think we would see it, but I was still upset that we still just don't have a new fucking Star Fox game or even know that one's in the works. Like, I'm so upset about that still. I love Star Fox.
The last one was bad, so I think it's gonna be a lot of
I know. Baldwin, I'm not entirely sure I've played a Metroid game at all. Yeah, let's see.
You guys are killing me here.
And I like
again. There is nobody that for decades hated Nintendo more than me. There is nobody, and even I was like, "Yeah, Metroid is the tits, man. This is the stuff." And you guys haven't even played them. Metroid Prime is specifically actually my favorite. A lot of people said Super Metroid. I like Super Metroid, except that Super Metroid. Hot take. Get out your spice here.
Oh no, Ball. Oh no!
What?
I've only played Star Fox Assault.
That's the one that was terrible, right?
Yeah. Yep.
No, Star Fox Adventure number 1 is really not a Star Fox game. It's a Zelda game. Number 2, it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah, Adventure's the one that was.
It was like a Zelda game.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah.
But anyway, back to my spicy take. Super Metroid, brilliant game. Not even close to. I can't say not even close. At absolute best, it's the 3rd best Metroidvania. Hollow Knight, Symphony of the Night, then Super Metroid.
Oh, Symphony of the Night.
I will die on this hill, and I will fight to the death anybody that tries to argue with me. And I know you will because you haven't played friggin' Hollow Knight, but I will defend my honor on this one because I am correct. Love Super Metroid. I love it. But anyway, actually, to be honest with you, Metroid Prime actually probably are my favorite Metroids.
Yeah, I do need to play them. Now, are they standalone stories or is it a continuation? Do you know?
It's a
with
continuation.
The first person one.
Okay. Yeah, it's a continuation, but they are
Maybe
also
I'll grab
individual.
them.
I'm trying to think what the best way.
Matt, I'm not looking forward to what Nintendo will do with the next Smash Brothers. The prices and all the DLCs are going to be interesting.
Every individual character will be $80.
Oh God. Nintendo's getting really greedy and they are getting some backlash. Just
getting?
Not getting.
No, they're just getting bolder now. That's the difference.
Yeah. They are getting backlash. I don't want to promote negativity or whatever, but I did like during the Treehouse, it was just walls of text in the live chat of saying drop the price. That's all the text was.
I have an important non-gaming related update.
Oh, what do we got?
This is a hockey news.
Oh, okay.
Don't you start with me. Don't you fucking start with me. Alexander Ovechkin has officially tied the record for all-time goals. He scored 2 goals against Chicago, and he was 2 goals shy of 894, which was the longtime record held by Wayne Gretzky.
I was going to say, is that Gretzky, right?
He is now one goal away from being the all-time highest goal scorer in NHL history. And I don't care what team you do or
the Russian spy, Matt says.
That is an absolutely astronomical achievement, and I cannot wait until it happens. I was hoping it would happen. Their final game is against the Penguins in Pittsburgh. I was really hoping it would happen that game. It's not going to. He's going to get before then, but he is. Nice. I'm not arguing that, Matt. But Alex Ovechkin will be the undisputed best goal scorer in history.
That's cool. And I'm not dissing hockey, whatever. I've always wanted to get into hockey. I just haven't for some reason. Anytime I see like highlights on TikTok, YouTube, or people talking about it, I'm like, this is great.
You unfortunately picked the wrong time for your area because the Bruins are falling off a cliff very quickly.
Yeah.
So are the Penguins, but the Penguins maintained a higher level. Well, trying to think how to put this. The Penguins were decent. That's not actually accurate. Sorry. Well, the Bruins in particular, like bad management nuked them over the last year and a half or so. But they're further away now even than the Penguins are. The Penguins are a fucking million miles away from being competitive. The Bruins are basically have to completely rebuild now because they totally screwed themselves. But anyway, I wanted to call that out because that is insane that he has actually accomplished that. I'd have to look, but it actually might even be in less games. I'm not sure.
Well,
Matt, we have the Penguins the Penguins. We have Crosby for like 2 more years, and he's gonna be like, "Yeah, I can't take this shit anymore." And I don't blame him because I get the hell out of Dodge too.
Well, that seems like good news. So I think we're running almost to 2 hours here. I think we should end it there. What do you think?
I think so. I wanted to call that out because I was actually watching. I knew he scored one earlier. I got it.
Okay, you got it. All right.
I unlike you, I come prepared, pal. Don't worry.
I bought vinegar. I just want you to know, but I just knew with all the talk and stuff today, it just wasn't going to happen.
That's fine. We can hold it off for one more week.
So let's read everybody their fortune cookies.
Oh. We do have to post question of the week.
Yeah.
Since last episode,
do the sequel one.
Yeah. Let me set this up real quick. The last episode was a little kind of hobbled together at the last minute, what with Alex joining us and all that to talk about Assassin's Creed.
Right.
So we actually did end up forgetting to completely forgot to post the next question of the week. But we are going to do it for this one, so you guys will have one for the next week to talk about.
So we'll put it in the question of the week Discord. If there's anybody new in here, if you want to go over to the Spreading the Nerd Discord under YouTube description, the link is in there. So if you want to hop over there,
the main rule to that Discord, to be clear, is we cannot accept anybody else that likes Fortnite. We already have Ellery, and that's too many people. So nobody else that likes Fortnite is able to come in there.
Stay away. Other than that, we really do like people.
Wait, Matt just said he scored 893. So actually, he might still be one shy then. I thought he tied it, but I believe that's incorrect. 894 is what Gretzky had. I'm almost positive.
we only let Ellery stay because Ellery is like the best person in the world.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, Ellery's fantastic.
They're amazing. They're amazing.
But so Fortnite is garbage. So.
So yeah, join the Discord. It's in the description. Hop over there. But the question for this week is, what is your favorite sequel to a game? Now,
only one.
So, and it doesn't have to be. And so we really didn't talk about this. So, can a sequel count as like, I like Final Fantasy 9. Sure. I like Final Fantasy 9, or does it have to be like Red Dead 2? Something.
So long as it's not the first entry of a series.
So what about, can we step it up a little bit? Let's do the best sequel and the worst sequel for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like it.
All right, so let's do your best sequel and your worst sequel. So, because there's been some bad fucking sequels.
So okay, so Matt confirmed it is 894. He did it he got it in one less game. Gretzky had played 1487. Now Gretzky lost a year and a half, I believe it was, when the WHA when the WHA sorry, I'm not talking, nobody cares. Anyway, impressive feat. I hope he scores a third one. That'd be amazing if he accomplished it tonight.
All right. Now I've already enjoyed my cookie, and I'm sure everybody can hear it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Everybody's fortune this week from me is your education will help you become a more well-rounded and cultured individual in bed.
Get that culture up. Let's go. Now mine, this could be up for debate. I'll have to let the chat decide if it is or is not accurate. And I'm not joking. This is what it says. You are admired for your impeccable tastes. I am not fucking lying. That's what it's a little blurry, but I can't get it to where it's legible. That is what it says.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for hanging out with us and staying with us for this 2-hour rant.
I have something else to say.
Okay.
Sorry, I chewed my cookie and I should not have.
That's all right.
So, anybody in the Discord knows this because I posted it. But a little bit of news on the old Rick flapping his jaws front. As of this week, I have joined Alex, our friend Alex, and Don Lionheart, if you are part of Season Gaming, and Paul, this is their name, over at the X Button podcast. I will be on every other week with Alex and Joe. Joe is Don Lionheart. And then on the opposite weeks, it'll be Paul, Alex, and Joe. But yeah, so moving forward, I will be doing that. We record on Thursdays, and Alex edits and then posts on, I believe it is Friday. The channel is X Cape Gaming. I believe that's the YouTube channel name. It's just the letter X and then CAPE. Let me make sure that is correct, but I believe it is. So if anybody wants to check it out, I will now have one more place to run my mouth.
Basically, Rick doesn't like me anymore and is moving on.
Yeah, and yeah, that's right. I'm leaving a trail of crap. That's right. It's X Cape Gaming 7100 is the channel name.
Perfect.
When you see the icon, it looks like a chat box with a green X in it. So come check us out there.
Perfect. Yeah, you can find us in, like I said, in the description on the Discord. Everybody's welcome. And also, I've been moving the channel to more on Blue Sky for socials. You can just find me over there at Spreading the Nerd. And then Rick, where can they find you, sir? Besides X Button. I am at Twitter, Steam, and PlayStation, Xbox at Butch4969. I'm also on Switch, but it's going to be some random fucking number that I don't know or care what it is. Throw a number, figure it out.
Don't bother me there because I don't care.
Awesome. Well, once again, thank you everybody for listening to us for almost 2 hours. It's been great having you here. The community was super vocal tonight. It's awesome. I love to see
You guys showed up good tonight.
it. Was fantastic. So thank you very, very much. It means the world. So we will see you folks next week. Thank you very much, and we will see you soon.